Hello there, it's been a while. I'm still going through and reading individually all of the anachronisms, which are poems that I have accumulated over a long period of time, a couple of decades. And there's over 3,400 of them, and this one is I posted it on the blog at June 28th, 2021. And it is 3,278, and the subtitle is The Enablers. This character shows up a lot, and he just has the air of metaphorical importance throughout. You know, he's going to really tell us something before all is said and done, right? I'm not sure how best to relay this to you. My approach is, at the moment, improvisational. One thing about the whole thing, of which I am all too keenly aware, is that I do not want to talk about this guy. I mean, what am I doing? There's this artist type who lives on what I suppose you might call a sort of in-between area, where selfish cohabits with selfless, greed overlaps with charity, materialism with idealism, or any number of things one might assert that the opposite of materialism might be, and so on. For example, a person who considers himself a poet above all else might earn a living working at an accounting firm, or at a bank, or be a Brinks security guard in charge of an ATM machine, or work at an investment company. Let's not continue to overstate the obvious, because what I might be getting at, and this is just among many other things that I may or may not be getting at here, if one were to spend a lifetime of getting at things, what might one be able to say, and with any amount of satisfaction, that doesn't border on delusion at the end of his lifetime? Should it have any heft or girth at all that he is actually and finally got? I mean, of all of the whatevers at which he was trying to get, what can he say that he accomplished? Can he say with confidence that he was left the world a better place than it was when he arrived? Let's say, for example, that I believe I'm getting a bit fuzzy or tangential, or perhaps the word I should use is redundant. Here, who can say that fuzzy, tangential, and redundant are not the very triumvirate at which I am working so hard over here, trying to get? Did that twisted wretch just toss us such a crooked wrench? It might be appropriately and perhaps even more vituperatively queried. Let's say that I was born and raised here, in this place, and that I have attempted to follow the rules as best I can, with some intentional and some unintentional exceptions. Would I not be, simply put, in almost any possible scenario, given those few qualifications, as a general rule, knowing what you know only from what you might have gleaned here, complicit? Might it not be automatically said, or might it even best be rather said, by which I mean, would it not be just as good and nice and easy and even more correct to allow it to go without my even saying that I am complicit? That I am therefore, and above all else, a hypocrite? So you can see how exhausting it might be, to dwell on this particular character, even if only within the confines of, and again, just to clarify, the specific and ridiculous long and rambling semi-narrative that I claim is also intensely biographical. And do I thusly have little or no need to even use the word autobiography in its entirety, while also making absolutely certain, repeatedly, continually, and at this effort almost unsparingly, that this is fiction. like a mantra, as if sung by the most obvious of fowl, whose songs or pecking or chirps permeate an environment, and yet despite the most Herculean sleuthery are next to impossible to lay a naked set of eyes upon. Do you not hear our dear narrator pecking away at his "I am here, but I am damn sure not here"? Can you dig? There's no real way for a hippo to tiptoe away in a perfectly or graceful or hushed fashion, is there? I do most earnestly hope that you can nevertheless begin to empathize with me and my dilemma, and that you might moreover even find it in your heart to forgive the fact that what I am throwing up here, both literally and, well, literally, is such a clunker that one might wonder how it made it out of the factory door, which, to be honest, in this case is not a very proverbial one, given that this was more or less tossed out from the only window that can, and only with a tremendous amount of exertion, might I add, be, but just barely, pried a little bit ajar, away up here on the executive floor of our illustrious company's international headquarters.